So we're starting with the first one up here. It is number 59. How many milliliters of a 7 milligram per ml solution of diltiazem injection must be added to 250 mLs of normal saline to make a final concentration of 2 milligram per ml for the patient's drip. Notice that we are going from a higher concentration to a lower concentration. And there's just two concentrations that it mentions here. That means we can use the C1V1 equation, or if we want to make up a 0 for the diluent as a concentration, we can do that and do an alligation. So I'm just going to go ahead and do C1V 59. I'm going to say V1 for X milliliters. That was what we're trying to find, times 7 milligram per ml. It doesn't matter if this is in percentage strength or milligram per ml. It doesn't matter. They're the same on both sides. So I am going to put like V2 over here. We don't know that yet though. So I'm just putting V2 for the moment, and the concentration that we want to end with is 2 mLs per milligram. 2. So V2 is actually going to be, it's always going to be the final volume. The final volume, it would be V1 plus 250 mLs. That V1 plus 250 mLs represents the total or final volume. So I'm going to rewrite this now so that I only have one unknown. Should be writing this down a little further. Okay, so it just means we have to do a little algebra now. So I am going to distribute this to the way we did back in elementary school. 2 times V1 plus 2 times 250 mLs is going to get us 500. On the other side, I still have my V1 times 7. I'm just going to, right now, ignore these. The concentrations are the same on both sides, so they're going to wind up crossing each other out. Okay, so what do I have to do now? Well, in essence, this is 7V1. And I think I'll move it to the other side, this 2 minus 2V1. So that I have my V's on one side and my 500 on the other side. If I do the math here, it's going to be 5 equals 500. And to get the divide by 5 everywhere, V1 is 100. 100 mLs is our final. Number 59, we're in alligation as opposed to Q1C1. So we can do the same thing, but this time we are just making up an extra concentration. Since we need 3 concentrations in order to do an alligation, and we only need 2 concentrations to do use the Q1C1 equation. So here we go. How many milliliters? 7 milligram per ml solution. Diltiazem injection must be added to 250 mLs of NS to make a final concentration of 2 milligram per ml for the patient's drip. As long as we have the same units here and here that we can use. We don't need to convert anything to a percentage strength. So I'm going to put 7, the highest number going on the top and the lowest number going on the bottom. the lowest number is going to be 0% or 0 milligram per ml, and that is going to represent normal saline because there's 0% of the drug in the diluent, the normal saline. And then to find parts, we subtract. So 2 minus 0 is 2 parts, and 7 minus 2 is 5 parts. And I like to put a little p at least to represent parts, just so I don't get the 2's confused. Now read carefully how many milliliters of 7 milligram per ml solution. That's what we're looking for. How many milliliters of 7? So I go to the 7, and I'm going to just draw a line all the way across. That is what we're looking for. That's why I'm putting an X. It said added to 250 milliliters of NS. Here's our NS. Go all the way across, and that's where I put my 250 mLs. And just to be safe, I did check that we need milliliters as our X in order to do our proportion. To set it up, I'm basically doing this. I'm going to take these digits and just rewrite them below. So I can cross multiply and divide, cross multiply. 250 times 2 is 500. And then divide by 5. That's going to get us X. So X equals 100 mL.